Intelligence isn't always determined by how much money you earn, how many degrees you hold, or how quickly you can think of something clever to say. In fact, some habits that many people believe to be indicative of a high level of intelligence are actually the exact opposite. With that in mind, here are 20 common habits that often indicate low intelligence, and some of them are pretty surprising. Number 1. Luck. Most people attribute extreme wealth to extreme intelligence, but in fact, most of the extremely wealthy people in the world got lucky, hit a sweet spot, or were simply in the right place at the right time, rather than being phenomenally intelligent. Equating wealth and intelligence is a severe misunderstanding of probability and subtlety. Number 2. The obsession with chess. Mastering chess requires excellent memorization and strategic thinking, specific to that game. Yet this does not necessarily correlate with high overall intelligence. Memorizing openings, tactics, and patterns isn't an indicator of creativity or problem-solving ability in other situations. Number 3. Speaking with certainty. Arrogant people who pose as experts without having the knowledge are often conflating confidence with intelligence. Intelligence is the awareness of what you don't know and the courage to question assumptions. When you have overconfidence without understanding, it's a warning sign of a lack of critical thinking. Number 4. Compulsively using big words. Using overly complex words when it's not called for can be a sign of insecurity and a lack of intelligence. Genuine intelligence and wisdom tend to be expressed in clear and effective communication. There's no need to use unnecessary jargon to impress people, and the desire to do so usually indicates that the person doesn't have much to say. Number 5. Obsession with classical music. Classical music is quite sophisticated, but that doesn't make listening to it non-stop synonymous with intelligence. The genre of music you like does not mean you have the intelligence to reason or think. A person's intelligence should be determined by how they think and act. Number 6. Relentless confidence. Overconfidence is a symptom of not knowing something or not understanding something. Smart people tend to be confident without being arrogant, and self-aware at the same time. Unthinking confidence is a sign of poor judgment. Actually intelligent people often suffer from imposter syndrome, which is the opposite of confidence. Number 7. Having an excellent memory. Memorization is a valuable ability to be sure, but it doesn't necessarily reflect intelligence. Intelligence involves processing information, making connections, and using knowledge to produce results. Someone with a photographic memory but poor judgment or problem-solving skills may not actually be intelligent. It's really about what you do with your memory, not how much memory you have. Number 8. Having a degree or degrees. Getting a degree demonstrates commitment, but it's not an intelligence metric. Educational institutions often emphasize memorization over problem-solving, and intelligence isn't confined to academia. Equating a diploma, degree, or other certificate with intellect overlooks other valuable forms of intelligence. It's possible to be completely uneducated and very, very clever. Number 9. Giving unsolicited advice. People who constantly lecture others rather than listening and engaging may come across as smart at first glance, but usually giving unsolicited advice is a sign of an egomaniac rather than someone who's smart. Wisdom incorporates other people's perspectives, includes empathy and nuance, and isn't merely the projection of your own opinion. This behavior is a symptom of self-importance, more than intelligence. Number 10. Having an impressive corporate job. Working for a corporation and making a high salary typically requires ambition, stick-to-itiveness, or networking, rather than intelligence. Corporate performance may be more based on being a conformist and following rules, rather than on original or independent thinking. Again, it's a myth that income equates to intelligence. Number 11. Obsession with success. Intelligence, while it can help you make money or be successful, is not necessary at all to achieve those things. A lot of rich or successful people get by on luck, cheating, or being in the right place at the right time, or simply having great social skills. Thinking that being successful is the same as being smart is one of the most absurd but common fallacies in our society. Some highly intelligent people simply don't succeed in putting themselves out there or are misunderstood. Number 12. Obsession with trivia. People who like to drop random facts into everyday conversations can often be mistaken as intelligent, but they may just be obsessive or really good at memorizing random things that don't have any particular value. Knowing facts is not synonymous with high-level intelligence or being able to reason with those facts. Being able to do well on a random quiz doesn't mean you can actually achieve anything in the real world. Number 13. Wearing glasses. It seems like the wives' tale that smart people wear glasses relates to the idea that reading damages the eyes. In fact, whether or not someone wears glasses has no bearing on their intelligence. It's just a stereotype. Number 14. Being a grammar grump. People who constantly criticize others' grammar and demand that they correct tiny incongruencies are more likely to be projecting their own insecurity, not demonstrating their intelligence. Intelligence is about how you reason, not whether or not you use a semicolon. And intelligent people usually reason that correcting others' grammar is just petty and makes you look like a jerk. Number 15. Constantly talking about IQ. Boasting about your IQ score shows an overdependence on one reductive metric to validate your intelligence. Intelligence is demonstrated through critical thinking, creativity, and mental flexibility, not by citing a single number. Those who frequently reference their high IQ are likely making it up and compensating for a lack of substantive cognitive accomplishments. Number 16. Being very opinionated. Pushing an opinion on every subject is a demonstration of insecurity, not intelligence. Smart people know when to talk, when to listen, and when to say they don't know. Constantly forcing your opinions on other people usually demonstrates a shallow understanding and a lack of consideration for the things other people can teach you. Number 17. Talking fast. Rambling and speaking very quickly and trying to impart a great deal of mostly irrelevant information can give the impression of intelligence, but it is counterproductive to understanding and clarity. The point of talking is to be understood, not to say as many words as possible in as short a time. This trait is often associated with insecurity and overcompensation. People who talk too fast want you to absorb what they're saying without really thinking about it. Because if you thought about it, you'd probably realize they don't make any sense. Number 18. Constantly contradicting. Nitpicking and constantly disagreeing with everyone all the time isn't a sign of intelligence. It's more about wanting to seem smart or in control of every conversation. Constant contrariness can isolate you and highlight your poor social judgment, defeating the purpose of having a conversation. Number 19. Writing a book. Publishing a book doesn't make you an expert or smart. Anyone can write a book and self-publish. It doesn't mean you know anything, or did any research, or used any critical thinking. Credentials need to be considered beyond the title of author to separate true knowledge from just showing off. And number 20. Irrational emotions. Assuming that feelings are inherently illogical and that being unemotional is the epitome of intelligence is an oversimplification of human nature. Emotional intelligence, which includes the ability to comprehend, regulate, and incorporate emotions, is an essential facet of intelligence. Disregarding emotions can result in flawed decision-making, and it demonstrates a limited understanding of intelligence. That's all for this video. If you found it entertaining or informative, consider subscribing to the Zen Parent for more videos like it. Thank you for watching.